Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Batcast. Ryan, I'm Upper Talk with Bray on Getty. Talk about Batman, the animated series, and this week's episode is You Scratch My Back. How you doing today, sir?
Catwoman has officially become a cougar.
Oh, not with this new redesign. I don't think so, but but we'll get to that when it gets there. But as I said, this week's episode is You Scratch My Back. It is the fifth episode produced and the fifth episode to air, airing November 15th, 1997. So 3 days after my 17th birthday. And again, like in theory, like my 17th birthday, I should have a clearer memory of it than I really do because I'm sure nothing big must have happened that year because nothing's sticking out in what happened on my 17th birthday, really.
Nothing happened that day. William
Uh,
Shatner got married that day.
well, that's yeah, I never yeah, I still haven't that was like the one Star Trek I still haven't watched yet is the OG series.
No, like that day, like specifically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying because as I haven't watched that series, he's not my captain. So so like
What did you say?
eventually I probably should try giving that series a shot. But I always think of the Futurama episode where they had like the original series cast on that were still alive at least at the time. Where like Fry is talking to Spock or Leonard Nimoy rather. I keep on young kid because he was like actually as the cast as Leonard Nimoy, not Spock in that episode, where he's like where he runs into his like head in the jar and like in the like the celebrity wing of like the museum or whatever. And he's like talking to him. He's like trying to pretend like Star Trek wasn't a thing. So and, like and Fry's like, that show you did, like 79 episodes, 30 good ones. And every time I like say that joke to somebody who actually watched that series, they laugh and we're like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, like I thought that I should probably actually watch that series because I think that's like one of like the few series, yeah, like Star Trek series I haven't like watched like at least all the way through, or at least partially the way through. Because I started Strange New Worlds like the first like couple like handful episodes, but I kind of trail off. Like I just need to finish like the fifth season of Discovery. And I guess like the animated stuff, the animated shows I haven't watched yet.
I still got to watch Lower Decks.
Oh yeah, that's one of the animated ones, right? Is
Hmm.
Lower Decks, I think. Yeah, and then there, I think there was like the OG like animated, like yeah, there was like an animated series with like the attached to like the original series too at one point, I think. Right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever watching
Yeah,
that. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah, yeah. I think it's probably like knowing like animation at the time, it was probably done cheaply, and it's probably somehow worse than the original series.
You will sooner get me to watch Super Friends than you will that series.
Well, in fact, we sidetracked early this this episode.
Yeah, but it's Star Trek, so it's par for the
Yeah,
course.
yeah, true. Yeah, so yeah, where's Tracy? Yeah, man, we're going deep into Star Trek this episode. But yeah, to get on track, yeah, this episode was written by Hurley Bader and directed by Butch Lukic. So it would be funny if he was related to there's a basketball guy with the last name Lukic, I think.
Oh, really?
Like one of like the European players that's like playing like pretty good the last like couple of years because I don't really follow basketball much and its name sticks out so he's one of the better players in the current players I guess or whatever so
Yeah, the Iron Curtain. Yeah, so this is our first appearance of Catwoman in new form. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask you about Nightwing's first appearance because the first time we saw Dick, he was in civilian clothes. And here he appears in his Nightwing persona, and it's the most anticlimactic introduction. Like it's just lazy. It's just
yeah.
him scouting on a rooftop and he's just, here you go, nerds, here's your Nightwing.
Yeah, and it makes it look like Batman's sneaking up on him, but he's really not. And yeah, and other like I think we got like one reference to him in live action in the what was it, Batman Forever when Chris O'Donnell was trying to like once he figures out that Bruce is Batman or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, I'm being your fucking sidekick guy, if you like it
Yeah.
or not." And he's like, "Hey, what should my name be? Like blah blah blah, Nightwing or whatever." And then at the time, I 100% wasn't into comics, so I didn't get that reference till like later, I like years later, like when like Nightwing and stuff, and then they say like crazy connections to movies. They're like, yeah, it's like reference there, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then when I saw Forever at Imagine last year, I was like, okay, yeah, there, because I don't think I hadn't seen that movie since I was a teenager, like before I saw it, and then I went back to the theater to go see it. So I definitely didn't remember that part. So and yeah, so like yeah, first appearance of Nightwing, and yeah, it was 100% anticlimactic. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the design of him in this model?
It looks like okay, but just the whole black suit, but the stuff with like the blue, like almost W or whatever the fuck is on his chest looks kind of almost lazy.
Hmm.
And and even in cartoon form, I'm never a fan of a mullet.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the hair. It's not even
Yeah,
like the hairstyle so much as the design.
yeah,
Like,
and do you think this because like Nightwing got his name from like Superman lore? Yeah, do you think like this was kind of like a nod to like the regeneration suit and mullet to of like when
I
like
didn't think of
Superman
that.
from like the Death of Superman and like the whatever the Resurrection series of it was called or whatever like the him coming back or whatever
I want to
or do you think it's
say
coincidence?
I think it's more just like the 90s was like the era of mullets,
Yeah.
and like in the same way like, everything in the 2000s was like trench coats and leather. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's more like a aesthetic to appeal to the hip crowd, but
Yeah, because it's black is new and cool.
yeah.
And hell, if Riggs can pull off a freaking curly mullet, anybody can.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, this episode starts off with Nightwing scouting on the rooftop in front of the docks, and Batman and Batgirl show up behind him and like, what are you doing here? It's like, like this is kind of what we do on a Friday night, man. Like you should know. And
I'm doing my job. What do you think?
yeah. And yeah, he's kind of like giving Bruce the scoop on what's going down. So like he's saying that like there's supposed to be like Colombian like fruit runners, but instead of like fruit, they're obviously he says like the only cucumbers in there are 30 caliber. And so like that's good writing.
I like how they're like skirting the issue of like what's usually like smuggled out of Colombia.
Uh
It's fruit. That's
yeah,
good.
totally fruit. Yeah.
You know that new nose fruit that they came out with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just chop up the fruit and take a straw and take it
Yeah,
right up the nasal
yeah,
cavity.
yeah, that's how you get the vitamins extra good. Is through
It
the
would have been
nose.
funnier if he just said sugar.
No,
Colombian
yeah,
sugar.
yeah, that would have been like a little too like on the nose and a little too.
Ah, on the nose.
No, we're trying not to do that, man.
Yeah, so he's like, I've been scouting out for these guys, and like this is my chance to bring them down, and he just like drops the binoculars and says, "If you guys will excuse me." So he's got like these like wingsuit flaps like underneath his armpit.
Like a squirrel suit, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a squirrel wingsuit.
Yeah, I did. Did it have one in like in between his like legs too, or was it just like on the arms or whatever?
I think it was just the arms.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess he's got to keep his feet together like the entire time. Yeah, so I guess he's got to have like good core strength, I guess.
Well,
But
I
I guess
mean, theoretically, if he was raised in the circus, you'd
yeah, I
think
was
he
going to
would.
say I guess yeah, it's not unheard of for him. Yeah, I guess so.
He's on the all rat diet. Yeah. So I do like this because like it feels like something that Tim that Dick could have whipped together like by his own design and like learning like a skill set and training from Bruce without having to have like all the flashy technology. I think that appeals to Nightwing because like he's very much like street level, and I think that that's the thing that appeals to his style of vigilantism.
And before like recently where he gets his money from Alfred from him dying in the comics, like did Dick have like access to the Wayne fortune like when he went out on his own, or that it was like it was Bruce like slash Batman like here you can still have it access to if you wanted, or was he like fuck you, I'm on my own, I'm using my own money for shit now sort of thing,
I
or do you
feel
know?
like he was kind of like on he parted on better terms in the comics. I think this was the first, as far as I know. I like there's always like, like different like reboots to the DC universe like every generation, right? I want to say though that he was just kind of like Bruce would be like, whatever you need, I'll help you. Like you're like checking after Bloodhaven. So, and I'm sure like he, set him up with like a place that he could, as a base of operations.
Or this has like a X amount of millions in a bank account for him, and if it's there for you can use it, sort of thing, whatever. Yeah, because
Yeah.
because I said like I was like all my stuff like for like Batman has just been like Batman specific, and then I've always forgotten if like they've like said anything about Nightwing because I said like I don't remember any of the stuff that I've had having Nightwing in it specifically, but my memory for reading is not the best yet either. So I'm sure like something's in there has had them and probably has said, but I do not remember at all. And it's been a while since I've read any of my comics too. So I
You also
never
got to
really.
wonder how much money his parents left him when they died.
But how much money is there in the circus though?
I don't
To be
know,
honest.
but think about it. If you're working it as a circus performer, wouldn't you want life insurance? I don't know how expensive
But
that life insurance would be, but
what would the deductions be for like for for the high flying act? Like I don't think he can insure that for that exact reason.
well, it depends on if they want a net or not, which was their downfall in more ways than one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that they or the circus would be willing to pay that deductible for that. But of course, though, too, if you're not insured, would you be that confident in your skills to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this uninsured?
Confident enough to not need a net. Yeah, so yeah, Nightwing starts taking down the thugs and he was like fighting this guy on like a forklift, and he more or less kind of tells like Batman and Batgirl to, stay out of his way. And I love how Batgirl like turns to him and says like, "Hey, you raised him." It's like only half his life.
And even though it is like the same like voice actor doing like Nightwing's voice, he's doing like older gruff voice of the same voice. Like I had to like double check it. Like, what do you think of that?
I think it was good. I think like you do need to age him up, given like his new like experiences and stuff like that. So I didn't. It was a subtle difference I found more
And
than
I
anything.
know like I noticed it like right away, and then I was like, oh, yeah, almost sounds like yeah, Nightwing's trying to do like Batman voice as Nightwing.
Yeah, a
Like
little
stay out of my
bit.
way, like stay out of my way. But still being like but still doing like the same like Robin voice, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's trying his best as he can to be like like the big boy, but at the same
Like no,
time, it's like
I'm my own person, even though
yeah.
I'm Batman. I'm not
And
Batman.
it seems like every criminal has more or less figured out you were Robin, so how
Yeah,
seriously are we
yeah,
going to take you?
yeah. I was wondering, like, I want, like, do you think they like kind of went out patrolled for like a week as the two of them, and they'd just be like, hey, let's take this guy seriously, or do you think they just figured out like how Tim figured it out, like, hey, you guys do the same moves and you sound the same.
I feel like yeah, you're
Yeah,
around them enough,
but
you start to notice patterns.
yeah, because I think. So one of the thugs at one point said like, yeah, didn't make mention of he used to be with Batman or whatever. Yeah, so I was like, how the fuck do these guys know that he's
Yeah.
so? But I think that's also too. I think that's given the common thug too much credit though to be like, hey, you used to be Robin. Yeah, they could figure that out. They could probably if they then they probably like then thusly like they know that like Batman's like the rich guy in the city, so like by default they like know he's known to the public, so they be able to figure it out that like do this if they're doing the same moves and stuff. They're like, hey, that kid moves like Robin, so he's fucking Robin, and thusly he's Batman.
Yeah.
So which I guess does lead credence to that one theory that yeah they all everyone in Gotham does know that it's Bruce Wayne beat Batman. They're just not saying anything.
I feel like, yeah, at least a good chunk of them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also that thing of like, like when you want to like voice a conspiracy theory, but you're not sure people look at you like you're crazy if you say it out loud.
No, I tell you, Bruce Wayne is fucking Batman, man. Not like fucking him, but but he is Batman. No, he's not. Dude's got like $5 billion, man. He's like a step and a half away from being like Elon Musk crazy. So like, yeah, of course, he's not fucking Batman. He's
Actually, there is a thing I saw recently, which was like one of those like Gotham City POV kind of like citizens memes where it's like, we keep seeing Batman sneak into Wayne Manor. Is Bruce Wayne like dating Batman? It's like then Bruce Wayne has to figure out like, oh, how do I curveball this? Yeah, so
yeah, like one of the yeah, like how do you think Batman's funding his organization? He's keeps on stealing from me, and I can't get him to stop.
yeah, I gotta stop sending those invoices. But I want to claim the business expense. So catch 22.
And he just got calling up Gordon. He's like, yeah, for the fucking sixth time this week, man. Batman came in last night and still, but like, stop leaving like millions of dollars in your safe, and like you stop coming in here and stealing from me. I was like, I don't trust the banks. You own the banks.
I
Shit, you
bought
got
the
me.
bank. Yeah, so Nightwing is taking down the goons, and I love how like he's doing a pretty good job. But there's this one goon who like gets away, and like as he's like running through like between the shipping containers, Batman is just leaning against a shipping container and just not doing anything.
The thugs looking behind him as he runs, and they just kind of comes around the door and still looking behind. They come around, and he's like, "Oh, what?" And he's just like paints to Batman. He's just like leaning there, and he's just like, "Uh, and then it's like
Who?
runs away. It just kind of runs away, and he's like staying there, and then Nightwing's like, "What the fuck, dude?" He's like, "This is your show, so."
You said you
And
got
then,
this. He's all
yeah,
yours, dick.
yeah, then it goes to so him to start running after him. Then you just like kind of see him like, was he like tied up or like handcuffed or just like kind of like knocked on his ass like from like around the corner?
I think he had Nightwing. I think had handcuffs
Yeah,
because there was that one guy who came up like to try and like get him from behind, and then that's when like he sees like a shadow like looming over him with pointy ears and thinks it's Batman, and he's like, "I said I've got this," and then he turns around and it's Catwoman.
yeah, and what do you think of this new like redesign of Catwoman?
I gotta be honest. I mean, I like the new look to Selena with like
Yeah.
the black hair and the pixie cut. I don't like this version of
Yeah,
Catwoman.
neither do I. Yeah, it's one of the not subtle changes like the most of the other stuff has gotten so far. And yeah, I don't like it either. Yeah,
The two things I find a little like I don't know, just off-putting are one, like it's completely black now. Like before she was gray. And so when you've got like they've established in the like animation design that they like draw on black cells. So you've got black on black, which I think is like she's supposed to pop, right? Like I mean, she's supposed to be stealthy, but at the same time, like she shouldn't look like she's blending in that much to the background to the audience. And she's got like white face paint
Yeah,
and
yeah. I wasn't sure if that was just meant to be here, like she was like that pale, or if it was like face paint or whatever. Yeah, but I didn't like that. Like the coloring was always like almost sickly, kind of, and I didn't. It wasn't that. That didn't work for me. I didn't like it. Yeah,
yeah, she looks more Tim Burton than Michelle Pfeiffer did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she starts she just says to Nightwing like I think she like knocked out one of the goons or something to that effect, like basically saying like I was here to give you a hand, and then she proceeds to backflip her way out of the scene.
Which I think she does in like the first appearance in like the in the Batman movie, right? I think.
Something like that. Oh yeah, yeah. When she just like blew up like Max Shrek's like a department store.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw her first, gotta fly. And then well yeah, she blows him a kiss before she leaves, and Nightwing's just kind of like, well, that was weird. And so we cut then later to Dick at his I guess like it's like a warehouse he's working out of, where he's got like his bike that he's like tuning up, and Barbara's there, and she's like, what do you mean she blew you a kiss? Like, you jelly babs? And he's just like, I don't know, like she was just there. And she's like, well, you shouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. She just shows up. She's there for a brief second, and I understand that Barbara and him have a history, but they're automatically just kind of like, like what's she want? What's she doing here? Blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, she was there for like 10 seconds tops. She hasn't.
Don't you know she's Batman's girl? Like, come on.
Yeah. That's the thing. I was surprised more that it was like Barbara doing this before Bruce.
Come on, man, bro code. Like, come on, what the fuck? Not in front of me.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just like, I don't know, like she was doing her thing and we just crossed paths. Like, I'm not really overthinking it. And
It's not like I invited her. Like,
yeah. I didn't invite you guys either, and you showed up, so there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, I didn't invite you to cuck it out there, Batman. Like, come on.
Yeah. And so he says, well, I found out who's the person like who is like running the operation, so I'm like off to go see them. And he like hops on his bike and he like floors it. He's got like this cool what is it? Like he goes out like a culvert, like out like the middle of like the city like waterway.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because especially being in the Toronto, living in Toronto, I know how like loud bikes are at night. So it's going down the street. Yeah, so that would be draw a little too much attention if he was just like going outside his just had like a garage and was like going out and just like boom, 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 and go away and stuff. Yeah, so well, I wouldn't want to be just drawing too much attention to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think the next scene is yeah, he's like back on another rooftop and overlooking this apartment penthouse. And so he's looking at this guy with a hook for a hand, Enrique El Gancho, aka Ricky the Hook. And this guy is like as stereotype as you can imagine.
And but they weren't stereotyping like Dr. Hook from Peter Pan, so I was kind of somewhat disappointed.
Oh, yeah. Dustin Hoffman. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gotta find somebody good to review that on my show because I really want to rewatch that movie.
I feel that might be a good one to try and get Rivers on, maybe.
I feel like it's not up Rivers' alley. Like, I'm sure he likes Robin Williams, but I don't know if that's enough to break the fantasy barrier with Rivers. I feel like it's more history that he's going for, historical stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, so Catwoman shows up and she's there for exposition to say, like he's a Colombian enforcer and he's the guy in charge. And Nightwing's just like, yeah, I know, like I did my homework. And she's just like, I thought we could, like take him down together. And he's just like, why would you want to do that? Like, why does nobody believe that I'm like, redeemed or something? Like, why does nobody think that I'm good? It's like, let's see. How about the fact that you double cross everyone you've ever worked for?
And that was that one in one of my notes. Like, did she say, like in the last episode say that she was like had turned like good, or is that because like I noticed in the notes and stuff that to like to say like what explained her hair color change, there was like a comic, I guess, like she was in a comic in between.
hmm
Yeah, like last time she showed up in this one, and so saying like that the hair dye that she used that she found out was like was like using like animal testing, so she like
hmm
stopped using it or whatever. So I wonder if in that comic or not, she was saying like, "Hey, I've turned good now. I'm I'm a cat for good instead of a cat for evil now," sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or if
And like maybe
or if it was in the last episode, I can remember because it's been a while since she's last showed up in the show.
I think the last episode we saw her with was where she teamed up with Scarface, and she
Oh,
just
that's
said to
right.
Batman, like, I can't do civilian life. I can't be a good guy. Like, it's just not my thing. Oh, no. The last time is when she teamed up with Batgirl, and then she double crossed Batgirl.
Oh.
Yeah. Because she's like, go to jail. And she said, no.
Well, yeah, because she agreed to go to jail after that afterward. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like, does that sound like something I would do? Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's somewhat on me.
Yeah. So after some reluctance, Nightwing agrees to, like work with her, and she gets real like touchy, flirty, and then she's just like, okay, now, and then she just like jumps across like the rooftop to like the other side of the street, and yeah, I think they've implied that like she uses like the whip as like a kind of like Spider-Man with like the webs. I'm like, how long is this whip?
Well, because she does that in the when she shows up for like the couple of missions and like in the Arkham games or whatever too, right? That
Oh yeah,
to get up onto the gargoyles or whatever to and whatnot. So yeah, so yeah,
yeah, I guess
so
so.
yeah, it's like it is cartoon logic after all, yeah. So it is a whip of undecided length.
hmm The plot convenient whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they break into Enrique's apartment, and like they had just established he was home. So this seems like a bad time to break in, but whatever. Uh they go like you look into his computer, and they're looking at like the shipping ledger, and Nightwing said something about like Los Angeles, or no, not, what was it? Like little Angelos or something?
Yeah, something like that. And it translated to like Little Angels or something like that.
Yeah. Which for the second I was just like, is this gonna turn into human
Yeah,
trafficking?
yeah. That's what I thought too. Yeah, and I was like, I not sure if I like even if it's cartoon. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're like wishing it was drugs, that's saying something.
Yeah, just let it be drugs, man.
Just why can't it be drugs? Yeah, so he's like, this is the ship that we gotta get on. So he like copies it onto one of those floppy disks that I'm sure our listeners who are younger than me are also familiar with. And
Yeah, no, yeah. I was thinking about those earlier this year when I bought the most recent Doom game on Steam when it came out. I was like downloading it and it was like 80 gigs or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I remember installing the very first Doom game on my computer off of one of those discs that
yeah,
would hold like held like what 3 megabytes or 3.5 megabytes.
yeah,
And
it's
it was and that was a full game back then.
technology is weird, man.
Yeah, like on I needed a 386 computer to run it because
Yeah,
my friend down the road had only had a 286. Anyway, because I wasn't even run it right away.
yeah. So yeah, Nightwing is just kind of like, all right, so I got what I need, so let's go. And he turns around and Catwoman's gone. He's like, hello, hello. And then all of a sudden
Hello.
the lights turn on and Enrique and the thugs are there. He's like, Ah, shit.
He's like, ah, I should have figured.
And I like, oh, Enrique like goes up to him and says, "What have we here, Batman Light?"
Yeah. This is one of the times where like, yeah, he's so I'm like, so do you think he was just saying that because like he's like walked in and to him on the computer, or do you know he's like directly connected to Batman in some way, where he's figured out that it was that he was Robin of old?
I don't know, because I'm like, this guy seems like he comes from overseas. Like, I'm sure he comes to Gotham when he's on business, but otherwise, I'm like, this
Oh
guy
yeah,
doesn't seem like a regular.
oh yeah, or do you just think it just because he's like like a vigilante in Gotham? Yeah, he must be yeah taking his cues from Batman and just like being like, hey, we should do good sort of thing, and,
Yeah, something like that.
or sort of thing.
Yeah, so he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I was here with my partner. And he's like, partner, maybe you can't count, but like you're alone. And all of a sudden Catwoman like jumps them and like they start to, kind of like fight their way out. And it's a really cool scene where like they manage to like, like hold their own together and then like they jump into this pool off of a balcony and I don't know why, like when it comes to like visual tropes, I'm a sucker for bullets going through underwater. I don't know what it is. It's so cool.
Yeah, I know, but they seem to be like going like a bit deeper than like what they usually do in like in movies. So I was wondering like what, but I always like the bullet and water effect too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a movie that's done it in a while, or I must not be watching the right movies.
The last time I saw was the Italian Job remake,
So that was like early
2003.
2000. Yeah. So that was
Oh my
fucking
gosh,
20
that was
years
like
ago.
22 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I've seen it in a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think I think I only saw the movie like maybe the once or twice when it came out. Yeah, so I might have to watch it again. Because I think yeah, like Ed Norton and Marky Mark are in that movie, right?
Yep. We're gonna go
Uh,
steal the gold. We're gonna go steal it, and we're gonna use Mini Koopas.
and who else is in that? Isn't the
Jason
Statham that?
Statham.
Yeah, the Statham. Yeah, one of his early movies. Yeah, I think the first movie I remember seeing him in was the one with Jet Li.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh yeah, where he's like in the where it's like a multiverse kind of movie or whatever, and I guess like that Jet Li is just like yeah going through life, and he like figures out that he's starting to get like like stronger and smarter and stuff, and and like there's like a different like multi version of himself. He's like going through like dimensions and like killing like version of himself. So he's like he's making like the remaining versions like smarter and stronger and stuff. So he's trying to kill like all of himself in multiverses so he can be like the strongest like one of himself. And like Jason Statham's coming along trying to catch him because he's doing like time crimes or whatever the fuck or dimensional times or dimensional
So
crimes or
Jason
whatever the fuck.
Statham's a Time Lord?
Like, or like more like dimension. It's more dimension crossing than time, I guess. So,
So like the
but yeah,
TVA.
something like that. He's yeah, kind of, yeah, but more, yeah, more dimensional than time, but yeah, sort of thing,
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds dope.
So I think that's what I think if you had seen like a meme I had posted on my Facebook recently, yeah, where it's like self-care is like yeah, it's only self-care is like going through dimensions and killing yourself to make yourself stronger is only good version of like self-care. That's what that movie was referencing. Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it's probably just before I think the Italian Job. So I was like probably 2000 2001 movie. I think I want to say.
No, no way. That's cool.
Yeah, I think. When did that movie come out? Yeah, 2001.
Okay, cool. Right on.
It's about as stupid as it sounds, but it's fun because it's like yeah, Jet Li.
It sounds like
Yeah,
my kind of stupid.
yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Right on.
It's one of the it's just if it's a stupid movie that I'm suggesting to watch, then definitely watching.
Right on. Yeah, so Nightwing and Catwoman are like in the pool. And okay, so like this makeup she's wearing, is it like that makeup that like Navy SEALs wear that's like waterproof? Because why is it staying on her face if she's wet?
Yeah, I've never wanted to try and figure out Makeup Man, so I don't know. But I guess so, yeah. But I guess if you're trying to, if yeah, if you're yeah, using like face makeup to try and like blend it for like Catwoman dealings, then I would imagine it probably would be waterproof.
Why would
What do
she
you think?
need makeup? That's
It's
what I don't get. Like it's
Well, that's the
more
thing.
work.
Maybe she knows if she's like showing like more like at least half of her face. If you like hear her talk and see her, we'll be able to figure out who she is eventually. So if I can do
But they
some
already
makeup, you
know
could.
who she is. She went to court. It was public news.
Oh yeah, that's right. She is one of the ones that
This makes less sense the more you think of it.
I don't know. And never try to figure what supervillains you're trying to think of, man, because they never make sense. I think
Anyways,
because the more crazy you are, the better the supervillain they are. We know that she's like one of the good supervillains, so like yeah, so that goes to show how crazy she is. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they managed to escape, and Nightwing chucks a medicine ball at this one guy, and I'm like, that guy absolutely has a concussion.
Or like that later on where that friggin' crate like falls on the guy, and
Yeah,
I
and
was
he
like that guy
breaks
should
through. I'm like,
yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, that guy should be fucking dead.
Yeah,
Not just be like, ugh, then like fall back over. Yeah, that guy's fucking flat.
yeah, yeah. And so they managed to escape, and later on, Batman goes to Selina's apartment where he basically says, I want you to stay away from Nightwing. And she's like, why? He said, he's not even a boy wonder anymore. He is a man wonder. Hmm. And
Wink.
yeah. And he's just like, I'm serious, Selina. I don't trust you. And she's like,
Said that, so am I. Didn't you see my wink?
yeah. And then Nightwing's like right outside and like coming in. He's like, am I interrupting something? And Batman's like, no, I was just leaving. And he says, stay away from my boo. And Selina's like, I told you he can take care of himself. I
And
was
me by
talking to
default,
you. I
wink.
was talking to you. Yeah. So then that he like swings away and like Batgirl's also like watching from afar. So again, it feels like that thing of like not only is like Nightwing wondering if he's jealous, but he's wondering also if like Batgirl's jealous. And she's just like, yeah, the this bit of a chill out is it you try to turn the heat up and it's like, okay, you're coming on strong even for you. Like
Don't you see I'm not Batman? Like how many times do I gotta fucking say it?
yeah, and so I think they start like looking at the file on the computer, and I think that like helped them to figure out like where the ship was going to be docking. And so they're just about to leave when all of a sudden Nightwing says oh, he found like the tracer at like the bottom of her whip. So like Batman basically like planted that there.
And it just made me think. I wonder if the tracer also has like audio on it because it's on the bottom of the web.
No, no. Ugh.
So I wonder if
Bruce,
she
you
use,
need help.
wonder if she uses this later too.
Oh no. Why is Bruce spending all that time in front of the back computer? Don't ask. Yeah. And then they're just like oh, he thinks that well, he says that he trusts me, but he really doesn't. So they get up and they realize outside that, like they're waiting in the Batmobile just like listening for them. And so Catwoman's like he thinks he's clever, eh? So she puts the tracer on the collar of her cat, the cat that I won't name. And so she's like, go on, Precious, have a night on the town. And, like the cat goes like running off across the rooftop and Batman and Batgirl go chasing it. And then, yeah, they decide like, okay, let's go get like
I
Enrique.
just think it'd be funny if like that group had got their name waiting for it from this cat. Why I wonder like what sort of steps it would have had to taken for that to have like actually happened.
I think that they said, like, I could be wrong, but I think that they said that when they found Osama bin Laden's like hard drive, there was
And
like
like,
Looney Tunes cartoons on it.
yeah, they're like SpongeBob, like the SpongeBob movie or something too.
Yeah. I forget why. There was like a better explanation as to the why of it, but it was like all the weird stuff. Like there's an entire documentary on it, like that was on there. It's like, see, SpongeBob is a code. Like, code for what?
Just be like him sitting there, like, see, this is what they're fucking watching. What do you think I want to cat bomb them all for, man? like, this shit is stupid.
Yeah, so
And if you want to hear me talk about the movie, go listen to my second to last episode of Off My Shelf. I think we talked about the first SpongeBob movie.
oh, I thought you meant Osama bin Laden. I'm like, wow, you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
go deep into
yeah. We
politics.
did an entire episode. Yeah, she has like Osama bin Laden on her shelf, and we talked about him. Fuck.
Tracy, are you okay? Yeah, so they go swinging off to the dock, and I love the animation. It's similar to when they had that episode that took place in London, where they got like the fog over the animation. It's
Yeah.
really, really good.
We want to draw like new architecture, so just draw fog.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Think about it, it would probably make their like rendering easier.
Well, I don't know. Like, what would be easier to draw, like the buildings or fog?
Well, fog's going to be the final thing, so yeah. It's like we can cover up all their like rough edges with this. And I love when like they're climbing up the dock and like Catwoman sees a rat and she just goes, just like we didn't need to do that. That's dumb, but whatever. It's
Yeah,
I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh.
yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, for a second, because she like gives it like a couple beats. And I was like, I wonder if she'll hit. So that kind of surprised she didn't do that, and then she does it. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. And then I think that draws attention to one of the goons.
Yeah,
I think.
and then they like
Is it?
take care of him real quick, and then they go down to like the cargo hold, and Nightwing opens it up and he's just like, see, this is what they're smuggling. Okay, he said that they were gun runners. So why are they smuggling Easter Island heads?
Yeah, yeah. So I guess yeah, I guess he thought it must have been what they thought they were smuggling. I guess, or I guess be they're usually gun runners and they're probably doing this instead as well to with their connection like their connections, I guess, and whatever too. So
Yeah, it just seemed
uh,
like a
what,
weird
what,
thing to have on there.
what's my yeah? Because then he says like, oh yeah, this is like the fruit that they're supposed to be doing, and it was like a giant like stone heads. And I'm like, what kind? And I was like thinking, like, what kind of fruit is that friggin' heavy and that like smaller thing that you could pass it off as you can pass a stone head off as fruit,
Isn't one of
and
the
that's
first things they do in like shipping like weigh
well.
the
Yeah,
container?
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, like that's like not that it was like a small container, but like for the container that size, if it was like a stone head, it would weigh a lot. And
Yeah.
so like for like X amount of fruit would probably been like 2 or 3 times as the size, because unless unless I haven't eaten fruit in a long time and it's gotten heavier.
I feel like you'd
Yeah.
literally be shitting bricks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or yeah, it must be that all that stone fruit that they had said that they ship in. But even then, I don't think peaches weigh that much.
Break your teeth off with those
Yeah, yeah,
peaches.
yeah. So I was like that. So like that's like a bad cover for what they're trying to smuggle in. It's fruit. They should have done something else.
Worst smugglers ever.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So like, yeah. So as he's doing that, he starts hearing like some stuff breaking, and then he goes around the corner, and like Catwoman's like has like a bunch of smaller stone things or whatever, and she's like breaking them, whatever, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then like finally she like breaks up one, and it's like there's like a green like diamond or like a jade or whatever there.
The cat's eye emerald.
Yeah, emerald. Yeah. So then she's like, ah, there it is, and she's like, yeah, this is what I was been looking for. And like and so like the entire scheme was her trying to she knew about his gun running scheme coming in to be able to get past uh the thing that I can't think of. That's why am I blanking on the word?
Oh, customs.
Yeah, customs. There we go. I was
Yeah,
trying to think import. I'm like, it's close. So it's like, that's not the word I'm thinking about. Yeah, the customs or whatever. So like, yeah, there's, I just like, I'd stolen this like a while ago and it was, I couldn't get through customs. So I knew about his gun running or whatever the fuck. And so I was able to do it through there. So he's like, oh, so this is what you're doing all this time. I should have trusted Batman. And then think that's just, I think Batman and Batgirl show up because like when Nightwing showed her the tracker, she put it on on the cat, I think, as he said, and then it kind
hmm
of so it made it seem like they'd fucked off for the rest of the episode, but like yeah, but apparently they're all in on it.
what a
And,
twist.
how dare the world's greatest detective fool me? So yeah,
Yeah,
so like yeah, so they show up and being like, yeah, this is what see, uh, we got it all along. So
yeah, yeah. So that's also when she's realizing that Nightwing like basically went triple agent,
yeah.
and that's when the Enrique and the guys like show up and they're just like, "What have we here? Somebody has broken into our statue smuggling business," and so they have like a tussle and yeah, Batman's fighting Enrique and like this is one of the first times we've seen in this rendition of the show blood because he like
Yeah.
cuts open Batman's like shoulder. Which I mean, if you're gonna have a hook guy, you
Yeah,
should
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
But at least land at least one little cutter gash on him, yeah, and actually show blood. So
Yeah. And so yeah, while Batman's fishing it, yeah, he drops like this gigantic thing of like how many crates were on that platform, like
yeah,
on top of him?
there's a lot, yeah. So like in theory, that should even whenever there was holding it up and like underneath it, yeah, should have fucking crushed this guy and killed him. But yeah, but
Especially if they're containing statues.
yeah, yeah. So that's how I was thinking, like, oh, I was like, holy fuck, there goes Batman's no kill rule.
Yeah.
And then you see him just kind of break up and be like, and then kind of fall back down. So you just got dazed. And I
Yeah.
was like, yep, that's cartoon logic at its best right there.
He pulled a Gus Fring. He stood up, adjusted his tie, and then died.
Oh, oh yeah, that was so good.
Yeah.
I like the way I like when I went to his pet like the guy who played Gus Fring, Carlos Esposito, or whatever his name is, yeah, came to the March Con, like probably like the one that was like right after he died on Breaking Bad, and then I went to the panel. I got there early, so I was like in the front row, and I was wearing my Green Lantern shirt and my Jane Cobb like toque, so I like had green and like so I was like multicolored and stuff, and then I'm 6'3", so I'm kind of noticeable. So like, and he was fucking awesome. He's like super friendly, just doing all this stuff, and like wasn't in one of the usual like panel rooms. He just it was like a makeshift. It was like a makeshift panel rooms. They just had like a makeshift stage off to the side, and like there, and then like the door to the back hallways and stuff, like 10-15 feet away from like the stairs to the stage. So like the panel was over and stuff. So like so I was just standing up, and then he was going to leave, but ended up coming out to talk to the people that were there.
Nice.
And because I was front row, dressed as I was, and I'm tall, he like started walking this way and we made eye contact. So he came right over to me and started talking to me, and I was like, I don't know what to say to you. So I was like, he's like, oh, you're pretty colorful. And I was like, yeah, it just like, hey, like I liked your panel or whatever the fuck. Just kind of like, whoa, and just kind of left because I was like, I want to see your panel, but I wasn't prepared to talk to you. And then you literally came over to me to talk to me, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I was like,
That's
like
good.
leave me alone. I don't want this attention right now.
I'll take that attention.
Yeah,
I'll take all
but
the
he was,
attention.
but yeah, he was, yeah, he's fucking awesome, like in real life. Yeah, like, and I think at that con, he was like signing like the box cutters and like
Mhm.
that, and like, I had his thing and like doing like the pose, like where he was like cutting like the one episode where he didn't didn't say like he was like in the entire episode but didn't say an entire word. And like that end of the episode ends up killing the one guy that was there with the box cutter and just kind of takes off or whatever, and was just kind of doing that pose with people.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was like, shit, I like I should have went to his stead to do that, but I didn't. But at the time I was at my old job because I wasn't didn't have the money to do extra stuff like that at cons.
That's
But
right.
yeah, but in short, like yeah, he's awesome.
I like how he's like starting he's not exploding on like the terms of career movement right now,
Yeah,
but he's just kind of like slowly like working his way up. But
yeah,
just enough that like you're like, okay, like I really want to watch. I don't care if that movie looks like crap. I'm not gonna lie. He was half the reason I watched like the last Captain America movie.
yeah,
Harrison Ford, nah. Giancarlo Esposito, oh yeah.
yeah. I know. I remember the whole thing too, and like he was like in like at desperate times before he got the role as Gus Fring or whatever, and then he was like either contemplating or actually was in the works of like hiring like a hitman to get to him to so his family could get the insurance money because he was like he wasn't getting like as because he was like a big
He
actor
was
in like
gonna pull a George
the
Bailey.
yeah, yeah, he was like, acting roles in like the 70s and 80s and stuff, but he wasn't, it had been a while since he was like gotten roles, so he was ready to, do something drastic or
Oh
whatever, and
my
then he got that
gosh.
role, and with that role, he was only supposed to be like on it for like a couple of episodes or whatever, and then because he's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
they expanded the role to what it was, and we got freaking Carlos Esposito and other stuff because yeah, he's shown up in other like even in he's in great in like the Mandalorian and stuff where he showed up as fucking what's his face or whatever, yeah. But yeah, so like I'm glad that he was able to get that role so we can see him
Live.
be fucking yeah, that and just
Yeah.
be fucking awesome as he is, yeah. So
Wow.
but yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Dang, man.
yeah.
He would have been a good Enrique the Hook.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I wonder if he's done any voice work, and then then he shows up in that one episode of Community
Oh
as
yeah.
and then later on where he's like Pierce's like half brother or whatever or the or something or whatever the fuck he is.
Well, I know he's done voice work because he was the voice of Lex Luthor on Harley Quinn.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be yeah, he'd be a good Lex. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like chirping out Bane when like they're doing like the Legion of Doom, like, like quarterly meeting. He's like, and we have explosions. It's like, I don't know what the hell explosions are, Bane, but we do have explosives. You came up with the frosting before you baked the cake. Fine, I'll bake the friggin' cake. So Batman like narrowly doesn't kill Enrique the Hook, and Nightwing goes chasing after Catwoman in a speedboat, and he's using like the wingsuit glider to like chase after her, and she has like a flare gun that she's like shooting at him, and that was a good chase. Like of all like the memorable action set pieces, I think that was probably my favorite because she like grabs him by the head at one point when he like lands on her, and he like tries to like drown him in the side of the boat. And I think like one of the flares actually like blew up like the front of the boat. Like it was
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. This made me think of like last of the OG Indiana Jones movies.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, what are you
Right.
crazy? Don't go between them. Go between them. Are you crazy?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the fucking awesome like wood boat going into the propeller of the boat. I'm like, oh, you're ruining a perfectly fucking perfectly crafted boat. We're getting squished in that propeller.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I think like the fuel tank of the boat, I think like caught on fire, and then like, they jump right before it goes kaboom, and
yeah.
that like knocks Catwoman, unconscious, and like he's just like floating on like a piece of driftwood. That's when Batgirl like drives up beside him on the in the bat boat, and she's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right."
I'm a okay.
Yeah.
So what would you give this episode out of five unreformed Catwoman?
I am gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It was narrowly a 2.5. It's not that it's bad, it's that it was okay. It was just if it wasn't for like that last minute twist, I probably would, which really wasn't that much of a twist when you kind of realize like Batman
What a
family
twist!
dynamics. Yeah, no, it was all right. I mean, like I said, I like seeing Nightwing, in full Nightwing mode, and yeah, Catwoman design, I could go without, but otherwise, it's nice to see her character appear again. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I think three out of five as well. It should have been a better episode for the premiere of Nightwing, but yeah, it was an okay episode for Nightwing for Catwoman to come back and then try and do her thing, but should have been a bit better for Nightwing. But yeah, give it a 3.5, three out of five as well. But as I said, thanks for joining us this week for if I could talk, I would say, all right, thanks. That is the episode for this week. Thanks for everyone for joining us at the Batcave to talk about Batman, the animated series. Next week's episode will be Never Fear. So I'm going on a limb that might be a Scarecrow episode. But you never know. But you can follow us on Twitter/X at Beyond Backcast, on Instagram at Beyond the Backcast, where we are on YouTube now at youtube.com/at Beyond the Backcast. Check us out there. Give us a rate, review, subscribe on there or wherever you find your podcast. It'll definitely help us out. Where can we find you on the internet, Braden?
You can find me on my podcast, Fandom and Folklore, where we talk about fantasy movies and TV shows and the fandoms that follow them. And if you want to find out more about Beyond the Backcast, go to our Instagram, one word, Beyond the Backcast, and go to our link tree, where you'll find a link to our Discord, the Batcave.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Stump Chunkman. That is my personal account there. And as I said, thanks for joining us at the Batcave to talk about Batman and the animated series at Beyond the Backcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.